I would like to thank Claudia and Diana for inviting me once again. They make me feel like Oprah Winfrey, but I'm not, but definitely not. But well, I'd like to also thank everybody here. So the first person that I'm going to introduce is Roberto Celis Montenegro. He is from Bishu Gourmet, and he commercializes a little bit of food of pre-Hispanic times. So, well, we could give him an applause. Thank you, Roberto, for being here. They will tell you more about their company later on. I'm just doing a very, very brief introduction. Then I'd like to introduce to my left, Fabian Mauricio Sanchez Carrillo from Bio Novatec. It's a Mexican technology based company that specializes on actually taking care of pests, but in a very interesting way, and you will listen about that in a few minutes. Okay, so well, maybe we can give them a round of applause. Okay, so here then we have in representation of Brenda Areli Hernandez Arana, Carolina, your last name? Hernandez Arana, so they are family, okay, and it's AV Gender Consultoras. And their objective mainly is to incorporate and control all these administration systems to create equality in work and inclusion, responsibility, social responsibility, etc. And sustainable work, etc. So, well, let's give her an applause. Then we have Jessica Sofia Figueroa Ayala, that is from Credit Cloud Solution. And it's a platform that allows the administration of all the different cycles and processes of credit, right? So, well, let's give her a round of applause. And last but not least, we have Elisa Giselle Villena Medina and Alberto Sanchez Espinal that are from Teraplayuda, which is a psychotherapeutic, like a company to people that have problems like this, and it improves mental health to create, emotional stability for women. So that is also for children and for teenagers. So it's a very interesting company as well. So let's give them a round of applause. Okay. So what I'm going to do, lo que voy a hacer ahorita, I'm going to switch to Spanish a little bit, es que voy a hacer las preguntas y algunas veces voy a dirigirme a algunos, a otros, o voy a hacer la pregunta en general, ¿no? Y si alguno de ustedes quiere, pues, participar o contestar y creen que podría ser interesante desde el punto de vista de su empresa, pues me dicen y levantamos la mano y así vamos platicando, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces, más o menos esa es la dinámica. ¿De acuerdo? So I was telling them about the dynamic. I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and sometimes, I will address a specific person, or maybe I'll ask the question in general, and then that way we are going to develop the talk. Let's say that it's more a talk rather than a panel discussion. No? But I think that the first obligatory question, and I'm sorry, and then I'll ask you if you have questions, you can raise your hand. Si tienen preguntas, van a levantar la mano. ¿Les parece que sea en el momento bueno, no en el momento que terminen ustedes la intervención? Y si tienen preguntas, les pasamos a... ¿Sí? Okay, so if you have questions, raise your hand, and at some point, I'll just stop the conversation or when they finish, and I'll give the voice to you, okay? So I guess that the first obligatory question is like, what motivated sorry, there's going to be a little bit of a pause. Before that, we're going to give some security ads and, reminders. Perdón. ¿Podemos poner los avisos de seguridad, por favor? No, no va a pasar. Nothing's going to happen today, so I just need to.
Deberemos hacerlo de forma ordenada. Conservamos siempre la calma. Buenos días. Antes de dar inicio a este evento, les transmitimos este mensaje de la Comisión Local de Seguridad de la Escuela. En caso de tener que desalojar este recinto, deberemos hacerlo de forma ordenada, conservando siempre la calma. Procederemos de la siguiente manera. Las personas que ocupan las primeras 5 filas deberán hacerlo por la salida de emergencia, ubicada a la derecha de este auditorio. De las filas 6 hacia atrás, lo harán por la puerta de entrada, saldrán de este inmueble y se dirigirán hasta el punto de encuentro que está localizado entre el edificio A de la escuela y el Centro de Investigaciones de Diseño Industrial, CIDI, de la Facultad de Arquitectura. Si alguna persona no puede desplazarse rápidamente, deberá resguardarse junto a las columnas, que son los lugares señalados como las zonas de menor riesgo. Les solicitamos seguir en todo momento las indicaciones de los brigadistas. Gracias por su atención.
Oh, okay. Okay. In case of an emergency, the first 5 rows will exit through this emergency door, and then the last 5 rows will exit through the other one. There's a reunion meeting point, and it's marked on the floor with a green square. Okay, so, well, just follow Muzzy, I guess. No? So, yeah, that was a very generational joke. So anyhow, well, let's get started. And I don't know if I said my name, but my name is Susi Rodriguez, in case I didn't say it, but well, bienvenidos. Mi nombre es Susi Rodriguez. Se me olvidó decir mi nombre, ¿verdad? Pero bueno. So the first question that is obligatory is like, what motivated you in general to undertake this entrepreneurship? ¿Qué es lo que los motivó a entrar en este gran reto de hacer una empresa, ¿no? Y de innovar y estar en una incubadora y todo esto. Entonces, pues hay muchas manos. Yo creo que ahorita sí sería importante, bueno, muchas personas, creo que sería importante que todos nos contaran, porque para cada empresa fue diferente, ¿no? No sé si alguien quiere empezar o en orden o...
¿Quieren? ¿Empiezo así? Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm going to try to speak in English. If there is any word you don't understand, you can raise your hand and maybe ask to Mauricio, because thanks, Mau. My name is Mauricio too, so nice to meet you, man. Oh, the thing what motivated my entrepreneurship was trying to help my family. I have a very loved aunt of my own, and she had a problem of asthma, and she couldn't resolve the problem of cockroach in her home, and she couldn't use pesticides as we know, like aerosols or this kind of liquids, the smell. She couldn't get off his home or her home, and she asked me help because I am a biologist by formation. My original profession was biology, and maybe you know something about this, because to our families, we are like professionals, even if we are students, and they thought that I know everything about cockroach, and she was trying to get rid of the cockroach. So I was trying to help her, and my original, yeah, oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, as she said, it's okay. Okay. Um, my master degree was about antibiotics, and I was working with the streptomyces. It's a kind of bacteria of the soil. This is smell that you smell, uh, soil smell when it's wet, when it's raining, and you can smell this soil wet. It's produced by these organisms, and many of them produce antibiotics that are very important in the pharmaceutical industry. So I was working at the UNAM in my master's degree with a doctor who was trying to understand why these bacteria do not produce antibiotics when it's growing in a medium rich of glucose. So what I'm trying to say is my line of work was another, and why I became an entrepreneur was because I saw this problem, a common problem in the cities. We need pest control, but we need pesticides more sustainable. We need more friendly with pets pesticides, and that's why I try to resolve the problem of my aunt, my beloved aunt. But with this, when it worked, when it was a good product, my aunt tried to recommend with other people, and the yes, it started to grow, and then I became an entrepreneur and incubator in InnovaUNAM Incubation Institute, and that's how it began. And now I'm fully volcado, dedicated to this entrepreneur and this enterprise. So I was trying to. Okay.
Roberto Celes. Okay. Gracias. Voy a ocupar el apoyo de Mauricio. Te agradezco, Mauricio, que me apoyes en la traducción. Bueno, mi nombre es Roberto Celis Montenegro. Mi empresa está constituida básicamente en la producción, comercialización y distribución de insectos comestibles.
All right. So, my entrepreneur is dedicated on the production, commercialization, and distribution of
Producción.
Of edible insects. Mhm.
Sé que algunas palabras van a ser complicadas. Básicamente me enfoco a los insectos de la época prehispánica en México.
I specialized in the production of edible insects of pre-Hispanic Mexico.
¿Cómo surgió esta necesidad? Investigué en el Foro Económico Mundial, en las Naciones Unidas, las tendencias y necesidades que hay de acuerdo por lo que pasa en calentamiento global y problemas económicos a nivel mundial.
Okay, so I studied.
Estudié, sí.
I have been researching in the ONU, the ONU, and in the
Foro Económico Mundial,
World Economic Forum about the necessities of
tendencias.
and tendencies of how do you say that?
Necesidades del mundo. Ajá. De resolver los problemas, los futuros problemas del mundo o que ya son actuales del problemas.
Yes,
Ejemplo.
solving the future problems of global warming.
Yes. Ok. Entonces, uno de los principales problemas que hay es la falta de alimento.
One of the main issues that exist are the lack of food, is the lack of food.
Es un hecho que para el año 2050 no habrá suficiente proteína para más de 10.000 millones de personas en el planeta.
For 2050, it's a fact that there won't be enough protein to feed the humanity on the planet.
Esto incluye lo que son los peces por parte de los mares y en la tierra no va a haber suficientes tierras cultivables para producir alimentos para el ganado. Eso ya es un cálculo actuarial que ya está hecho y es irreversible.
So there won't be enough fish in the ocean, and there won't be enough fertile soil in the land to produce the necessary food. That's a fact that is already calculated.
Pero lo que hacemos es, conocemos dos tipos de proteína básicamente, la animal y la vegetal, pero no estamos explotando la proteína de insectos.
So we know these two kinds of protein, the main ones, the plant protein and the animal protein, but we are not exploiting the insect protein.
Y curiosamente es la proteína que no tiene hormonas, químicos ni grasas y el cuerpo absorbe casi al 99%.
So these kind of protein, the insect protein, is the one that don't contain any kind of fat,
hormonas,
hormones,
químicos,
chemicals,
y grasas.
And fats, and it's actually absorbed by 99% of the human body.
Y se produce de una forma muy sustentable, ya que con medio litro de agua puedes producir más de 1 kilo de proteína.
All right. So with a half liter of water, you can produce more than 1 kilogram of protein from these insects.
Versus el ganado o la carne que necesita 120 litros o más para 1 kilo de carne.
So beef or this kind of meat, animal meat, needs more than 120 liters to produce little bit more than 1 kilogram of meat.
Lo mismo ocurre con el alimento, con medio kilo o 1 kilo de grano, podemos hacer 1 kilo de insectos, y en el caso de la carne son igual 50, 70 kilos de alimento para 1 kilo de carne.
So with 1 kilogram of grain, we can produce a kilogram of protein, of insect protein, while for beef or bovine meat, we need more or less 70 kilograms of grain to produce 1 kilogram of meat.
Entonces, derivado de lo bondadoso que es la producción de los insectos y la alta calidad de proteína, es muy viable para que sea una alternativa nutrimental.
So given these facts, this viability of insect protein, the best option to go to is to produce this kind of insect protein.
En Europa ya hay comercios, granjas de insectos.
In Europe, there's already some insect farms to produce this protein.
En México ya se va a instalar una empresa francesa, productora de gusanos de harina.
All right, so there in Mexico, there will be a French farm that will get
Gusanos de harina.
that will produce flower maggots.
Pero bueno, básicamente.
Yes, maggots or worms.
Entonces, viendo la viabilidad, bajos costos, alta productividad y un mercado creciente, reunió para mí los requisitos para un negocio.
All right, so given the viability of this protein, the trending market, and the proficiency of growing these insects, I saw the opportunity for a business.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Yes, please. Thank you for your help. Sí, digo con traducción, por favor. Spanglish. Pocho. Claro, bueno, lo que nos motivó para hacer la empresa, entrar a la incubación de Innova UNAM, pues fueron varios sucesos. Uno, empezamos porque yo soy diseñadora industrial, pero a consecuencia de la pandemia, para hacer el producto deportivo que yo quería, no había proveedores. Sí.
Okay, so
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. So, for their main motivation to begin with this company was that some things that happened during the pandemic. She's an industrial designer and she wanted to start a product. And there weren't.
Ok, entonces,
So she couldn't find the materials.
ya
for the
tuve
producers?
problemas para producir porque no había disponibilidad de los productores. Entonces tuve que cambiar el giro de la empresa a una empresa de responsabilidad social.
Okay, so because of this, she had to change the original idea for her company and started with more socially responsible idea of a company.
Así es. Y esto fue en conjunto con dos socias, una de ellas es mi hermana y otra es otra estudiante de aquí de la UNAM, que ellas estudiaron Derecho. Entonces nos asociamos y creamos esta consultora, que es una consultora de género, donde ellas pues son expertas. Yo, por ejemplo, dentro del diseño lo que aprendí pues fue algo de marketing, algo de comunicación y ahí otra, el web, por ejemplo. Y bueno, para poder hacer esta empresa, pues fue como muy importante acercarnos con las personas profesionales y fue como nos acercamos a Innova UNAM.
Okay, so she started the company with two partners, her sister and a fellow student of her sister. They're both lawyers, right? So they are a little bit more close to this market, okay? And they also they also looked for more professional advice to begin with their company.
Yes.
That was like the first step.
Exacto. ¿Y qué más? Bueno, pues esta empresa también a mí me motiva porque va a crear un cambio tanto económico como social. Un eslogan que tenemos es la equidad de género es una ventaja económica.
Okay, so they also realized that this is also economically convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of their slogans is gender equality. It's also
una ventaja económica.
An economic advantage.
Listo. Es la motivación principal.
So that's their main motivation for this company.
Gracias.
Hi everyone. I try to speak in English, so if I need help, you help me, please. So my principal motivation, when I was a child, I always feel this motivation to sell things. When I remember when I was a child, I wanna eat some cookies, and the box was very big. So I went to buy it, the box, but there are a lot of cookies. So I was thinking, what happened with all of these cookies? So I tried to sell it when I was returned to my home. So when I try it to sell, I feel very comfortable with this feeling. So this is part of be entrepreneur, and the principal reason or maybe the trigger was when I was working in a company. I was so frustrated because we are it was a small company and we are only 3 persons in this company. So the work was too hard, and we working in sales, marketing, a lot of areas because we are only 3 persons. So for me was a little baby that was for my was my little baby, but this company was not my these 2 people was family. So was too difficult to me make some decisions, very big decisions, sorry. So I was too frustrated because was my baby, and I didn't have the capacity to take decisions. So for me was is not the best way to be entrepreneur. So basically was the motivation was the frustration. So yeah, I met some friends in one with my colleagues, and we decided to start a new business, and my motivation was that I was the capacity to make decisions. So that's all.
Hello, my name is Elisa and I'm psychology, pero voy a necesitar ayuda en español. ¿Cómo surge terapia ayuda? Surge porque cada 40 segundos en el mundo una persona se suicida.
Okay. Yeah. So how did I come up with my idea for a business is because every 40 seconds there's someone suiciding in the world.
Justo con esta necesidad surge terapia ayuda, el arte de estar bien, romper con la idea del psicólogo tradicional, y nuestra innovación es trabajar la terapia con la medicina ancestral mexicana con la terapia.
So to find a solution for this, there's therapy needed, and also being feeling well and being mentally well. So we came up with a combination of therapy and Mexican medicine.
Para el 2030, en México, la depresión va a ser la causa número 1 de suicidios y de muertes.
For 2030, depression is going to be the first reason in Mexico to die and for suicide.
Con estos datos, que son preocupantes para nosotros y creo que deberían ser para todos, decidimos romper con la idea del psicólogo tradicional, porque psicólogos hay muchos, pero digamos que muchas de las metodologías que se han implementado en la psicología tradicional no han funcionado para ansiedad y depresión, o no en términos de tiempo.
So with these worrying dates that we were looking at, we decided that we need new methods, and that we need to break with the usual psychologist, because there are many psychologists already, and it seems that they don't work or that there's not enough effects to be seen.
Esto lo hemos visto en México y en Latinoamérica. Hemos estado en Colombia y en Argentina y hemos identificado las mismas problemáticas.
So we saw this problem not only in Mexico, but throughout Latin America. For example, we've been in Argentina and Colombia.
Entonces, la propuesta de terapia ayuda es recuperar una de las medicinas ancestrales más completas e integrales, como el uso del temazcal medicinal. Utilizamos la fitoterapia, que es con base a plantas medicinales. Se utiliza la parte mental, la parte emocional, y desde la cosmovisión náhuatl o mexica, trabajamos con la dimensión espiritual.
Okay, I will give it a try. If not, it will help me. So we try to go back to the medicine used previously in Mexico, using temazcal. I don't know what it is.
It's like a steam bath, sort of.
True. Steam bath, yeah. And also
Fitoterapia.
phytotherapia. Yeah, so I don't know what it is.
Phyto is plant, so it's plant therapy.
Plant therapy.
Uh-huh.
And also using other medicine from Nahuatl, so which is a
Pre-Hispanic group.
Y en nuestros tratamientos basados en la terapia de emergencia, hemos implementado la terapia floral, pero la terapia floral mexicana.
We also use floral therapy, so using plants, but it's from Mexico.
Apoyándonos de medicinas como el peyote, en microdosis, hongos, ¿no? Lo que es la psilocibina, y no implementamos ayahuasca porque ayahuasca es peruana, no es mexicana, entonces estamos estudiando ahora las plantas más ancestrales y más tradicionales. La malinali, que vendría siendo marihuana, lo utilizamos en pomadas, cremas y demás aceites esenciales para la ansiedad y depresión. El peyote, bueno, perdón.
Okay. So we are using different types of plants. For instance, peyote, and also some mushrooms, and other ancestral plants, but also marijuana, which is used in,
which is
cannabis,
Cannabis.
yeah, which we use in creams and other things to help anxiety and depression.
Bueno, entonces, pues todo eso rompe con el esquema de la terapia tradicional, del psicólogo normal. La intención de esto es, en el menor tiempo posible, haciendo una terapia integral, contemplando el cuerpo, la mente, las emociones y el espíritu, dar un apoyo en el menor tiempo posible a los pacientes con diversas enfermedades de salud mental, anticipándonos a estas problemáticas que se vienen para el 2030 en México y en Latinoamérica.
Yeah, to sum it up, we are breaking with the usual medicine that we know, and also with the usual psychotherapy. We use the approach that it's holistic, so that it's the body, it's the mind, and it's spiritual. And we try to make the best for the patient who's suffering from anxiety and depression, and to tackle all these fields.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. So, it's very interesting to hear like what was the background of all of the motivation and things behind it. Es muy interesante ver el contexto y por qué salieron todas estas empresas. Entonces, ahora la dinámica va a ser que 2 o 3, si quieren, contestan. Y me gustaría preguntarles cuál ha sido uno de los retos más grandes de su empresa en función también de la aceptación, ¿no? O sea, porque pues no son empresas que, ay, se me ocurre que hoy, o sea, hay cosas diferentes de innovación y demás, ¿no? ¿Cuáles han sido los retos más grandes que han enfrentado Y también, pues, la discriminación seguro que ha habido en algunos casos para diciendo, no, eso no sirve o cosas así, ¿no? Entonces, ¿cuáles son los retos más grandes? ¿No? Y la aceptación también, ¿no? De la gente. Entonces, no sé quién se anime a participar. So, in English, I want to ask them what is one of the most important, like, challenges that they have faced in terms of actually, people accepting their idea or even discriminating their idea or, things that they have faced that have been real difficult challenges.
Nosotros.
Okay. In terms of psychotherapy, psicoterapia.
Nos hemos enfrentado a muchas críticas. Nos han dicho que no somos psicólogos y que no hacemos terapia.
Okay. So we had a lot of critics. People were saying that we are not psychologists and that we don't know enough about this.
Así que nosotros estamos haciendo esta propuesta también en un congreso que lo hicimos en Europa con la intención de que esto vaya creciendo. Ahorita está muy de moda el medicamento con hongos que lo utilizan en Canadá para pacientes en psiquiatría.
So we also went to Europe to propose to talk at a congress because it's now very
Common.
used to use mushrooms.
Así que durante estos llevamos 10 años, ha sido como ir defendiendo nuestra idea de por qué es importante la medicina tradicional con las plantas y con lo del temazcal.
So it's been already 10 years that we are disseminating the information about our idea and why it is so important to use this medicine, this ancient medicine.
Así que nosotros nos vamos capacitando constantemente para volverlo científico y así pueda ser aceptado.
So we are constantly working and also going deeper into the topic and learning more about it to be able to tackle the topics correctly.
Me gustaría intervenir brevemente para explicar un poquito más el concepto de temazcal, porque creo que es importante. I'm going to intervene a little bit because maybe you don't understand the concept of temazcal yet. It's like when you go to the steam room in the club or something, but this is built with earth, some sort of like pottery. No, it's like a little cave or steam bath, and you get into it. So it's a very reduced place. And usually there's steam coming out, and there are plants and there's meditation, they're guiding you towards it. So while you're sweating, you're releasing toxins from your body, as you know, but there's also this idea of somebody guiding you through it. So if their theory is emergency rescue and fastness, this helps, no? And also maybe you can help me more.
I can try.
Okay.
The temazcal is like a glue. In the center have a rocks, hot rocks. And the Mexicas, the temazcal is a religious house because we have 4 elements: water, fire, air,
Earth, water,
and
fire,
and tierra.
and earth.
Earth. The life for the Mexicas, we have 4 elements for all life. In the temazcal is the ceremonial, event ceremonial for the sanar,
For the healing.
healing the spirit, because for the Mexicas, all enfermedades,
All sicknesses.
sicknesses, están be in en el spirit,
are in the spirit.
are in the spirit. Entonces, eso era lo que quería complementar.
Okay. Yes, and we have, do you want to say something, Elias? Mhm. Okay. So I thought it was very important, especially in yours, and well, it'll help with a pre-Hispanic concept of food and so on. No? So, well, that was very important. Okay, so coming back to my original question, like the challenges that you have faced, I don't know if somebody else wants to share, two people more that could help us share the challenges, los retos, dos personas más que me puedan, okay?
¿Alguien?
Okay.
Bueno, uno de los retos es para nuestra empresa, ya que nosotros nos dedicamos a implementar la perspectiva de género, pues es un tema controversial y hay opiniones muy diferentes. Entonces, lo que a nosotros nos gusta hacer es concientizar a estos centros de trabajo, pues con las situaciones que se pueden dar. En este caso también les explicamos porque existen políticas, hay una política, es una norma mexicana, que es una política de igualdad laboral para hombres y mujeres, y tiene, por ejemplo, un protocolo de atención a casos de violencia y acoso. Entonces, en un principio, algunas empresas o estos centros, pues no lo ven como tan cerca o no le dan credibilidad. Sin embargo, ya que una vez les pasa esta situación, pues hay deserción de empleados o hay incomodidades, hay un bajo rendimiento y es cuando ya se acercan a nosotros. Ujú.
So for this company, one of the main challenges is that, as you know, since they are starting to teach people and to make people be more aware of gender equality, there will always be different opinions about this. So one of their most important objectives or work is to make people aware of this, to work with companies to start teaching them about certain situations that can happen in everyday work, like, for example, work equality. For example, there are some there are politics now, there are policies now that companies have to start implementing, and some companies are not taking it seriously. So when they start having issues or having problems, it's when they come to them to ask for their advice.
Okay. Gracias. No, Roberto. Sí. En la comercialización y venta de insectos comestibles, curiosamente, lo difícil no es venderlos, porque sí hay un mercado foodie que le encanta ese tipo de sabores.
So in the commercialization and sale of edible insects, they actually do sell. There's a specific niche on the market that they do buy this kind of food.
Mi reto, o de nuestras personas que están conmigo, es básicamente serían dos. Uno, el cambio climático, porque ha cambiado el clima y eso 1 o 2 grados en el desierto o en las zonas donde nosotros recolectamos los insectos es devastador para la producción de insectos. O sea, épocas donde tiene que llover, no llueve, y épocas donde tiene que, debe haber sequía, bueno, se inunda, ¿no? Y viceversa. Entonces, sí es una problemática para nosotros porque los insectos son muy susceptibles a los cambios climáticos.
Right. So one of the there's many challenges. The first one is, of course, global warming, especially in the deserts. It's devastating since when there's some need of rain, the rain doesn't come, and when there is need of drought, well, it doesn't come as well. So that's one of the main issues, since the insects are very susceptible to these environment conditions.
El segundo problema que tenemos es mi producto se da en la sierra, en las zonas desérticas del país, despobladas. El problema es de que en estas zonas rige el narcotráfico y la delincuencia. Entonces, lo que pasa es que nos secuestran a nuestros campesinos, los extorsionan o los meten a sus líneas como carne de cañón, como literal, o sea, bueno, tradúcelo otra y entonces, eso hace que la gente ya no quiera recolectar porque sus vidas están en peligro debido a que desde hace unos 6 años la delincuencia en esos ámbitos ha crecido mucho.
All right, so another challenge is like this kind of insects, the product, it's given or they arise in the mountains, but of course for this recollection they need farmers, but specifically in these regions, in these mountains, there's a lot of narc traffic and crime, so the farmers actually get kidnapped. And so they don't want to work there anymore, since from the past 6 years this has been an increasing problem, and they use the delinquents. They use the farmers as
and they are like people that are like they're material to be, they're people that are meant to be expended, which means that they can die and nothing happens. So that's why they don't want to work anymore, because they are in the middle of this internal war with drug dealers, crime, or having a life, you know, to provide for their families. This is very
Nada más doy malas noticias, disculpen.
Yo digo la pregunta en inglés. Okay. Dila en español.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. ¿Hay alguna posibilidad de que se lleve la producción de insectos a las ciudades?
Is there a possibility to have the insect production in cities instead of these places?
Para evitar poner a la gente que se encarga de producirlos en riesgo.
Sí, precisamente ahorita estoy dando a lo mejor las malas noticias, pero sí, a los problemas que hemos tenido tenemos una solución, y una de esas es tener centros de producción para ciertos insectos, no todos.
Okay, so I'm going to translate his answer now that I have a microphone. He's saying that it's possible to take the production centers to different areas to avoid any kinds of danger to farmers and people who are involved in the process. Gracias.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to continue with another question. Maybe the people who have not answered can answer now. And the question would be, like, what has been, in your experience, one of the most satisfactory parts of the process in your own field? No, like what has been satisfactory in the process, and that you see that really impacts the field that you're in? ¿Qué ha sido lo más satisfactorio, no, del proceso de la creación de la empresa, y cómo ha impactado en el campo, en el ramo donde se están moviendo, ¿no? Porque, bueno, no conozco mucho en tu caso, ¿no? Del campo de control de plagas, ¿no? Pero cómo ha impactado So I was telling him, I don't know much about pest control, but how has that impacted, your field? Because we don't go around thinking about pest control all the time, no? So, ¿cómo impacta, no? En su ramo.
En inglés se entendió. ¿Sí? Okay, in my case, I develop some kind of system of I call it sustainable system to pest control from cockroach. And this works like every insect has some habits, and the cockroach have a very specific form to clean itself. The cockroach use their mouth to clean their legs, the 6 legs and the antenna, and they make this kind of movement. Think of me as a cockroach. So the cockroach is walking over there, and he's on the soils and he came up. Oh, I'm sorry, and they came up with by the bathroom and get into your home, and the dirt and all the bacteria are in the body, on the body of the insect, and they use their mouth to clean this dirt. So the form that my product works, it's some kind of paste I made up. I make a formula, and I use an antibiotic to impact in the bacteria that live in the gut of the insect. And this bacteria that lives in the insect gut have the proper or capability to degrade or digest everything they eat, like hair or soap or the grease we left in the bathroom, and in the grease and all the in the kitchen organic waste we threw by the subway, by the sewer. So all that it's controlled by this bacteria. So the antibiotic that I use to kill all these bacteria sticks to their legs, because I put this paste on the floor and back on every electronic appliance in the kitchen. And when the cockroach are walking over there, this formula, this paste, this bait stick to their legs, and when they try to get them off, they eat it without knowing, and this is the form it works. So it's different to this vision of using toxic sustain aerosols or these liquids products that became a problem because we are inhaling and we are using this in our cities, in our countries, and that's the thing I'm trying to change. So, what's regresando a la pregunta que querías? Coming back to the question, ¿qué era? Okay. Okay. This helps to the people because I feel very satisfying, because some people, I have clients who are very old people that cannot go to another place while some pesticide professional is cleaning their home. So they cannot go out of their homes. So they need a product that they can use while they are in the house. So this formula or this product may or let the people stay in home while they are living their lives, but we are controlling the pest. So we don't need to clean after or before. So many people, this is the kind of pesticide we need, something more sustainable, something more friendly. There are many pets in our homes, and we need this kind of solutions better than the other way. So it's very satisfaction when you go to any home or any person with a problem with asthma, or with many children's or very old people that cannot go out while they're having this problem, and helping them. It's very satisfying because they really can't sleep, or they have problems with the asthma because of the cockroach. So this is the kind of things I like. And maybe with this idea of changing the form or the way we treat the pests in our cities is something that drives me, that give me more impulse to keep going. That's satisfying.
Okay. Sorry. The benefit of our platform is too simple. Is the financial inclusion of a lot of Mexicans here, because around 80% of Mexicans are not bancarized. It's bancarizados.
Yes. Like they are not, like they don't go to the bank.
Yeah, they don't have financial benefits of a bank. So this is too important, because maybe people have the money, but when they need more money, a loan, yeah, a loan, they more money. So when they ask for money, they can't obtain this credit because they don't have an historic background. Yeah. So the main point is inclusion, financial inclusion.
I think, creo que algo importante mencionar es que en México todavía existe como esta manera, ¿no? De que la gente guarda en el colchón el dinero, ¿no? O sea, hay gente de trabajos que a lo mejor no están tan regulados, que se les paga pues con dinero, ¿no? Y que no tienen acceso al banco. Entonces voy a explicar, ¿no? In Mexico, there are many people that are not paid through a bank. They are paid with cash, you know, in order to avoid IRS or whatever. And there are moments in which they are not, you know, susceptible to have any, you know, loans or benefits. You know, they need money and they don't have a background. So many, like the people that work in houses or something like this. So this allows them to have a background in the bank, no, include them, even if they are not it's not a high sum of money, but they have been in the bank, and then they can access and be included in the financial system. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's another question here. I would like you, I mean, there are different fields, no? Like here, biology, pest control, food, into the future, you know, gender equality, also equality in opportunities, and then you know, something mental. But I would like to ask them, maybe for some piece of advice in their own field, you know, because maybe you have ideas of different companies, and maybe that would be interesting, like how to tackle their field and make it grow so they can generate employment. Me gustaría preguntarles como por un consejo, pero en su ramo, ¿no? Para poder empezar un negocio, para hacerlo crecer, ¿no? Y para poder generar empleos, ¿no? Porque creo que eso es lo importante también de las ideas de negocios, que generen empleos para la gente, ¿no? So I was telling them that eventually, the idea is to generate employment for people, so how to create a job or a company in their own field, in that field. Okay, so some piece of advice.
Okay. So what I can say about this is, I don't know the kind of entrepreneur you are making of, but you need to protect your know-how, any form you can. I mean, in my case, I use a patent. It take a long time to get the patent. The trademark is important too, because you are an entrepreneur and you are making a lot of noise when you're trying to raise money, and when you are with an investor and the investor wants to know how you do what you do, and maybe you can say more than you should, because the problem here is you are on a small unit of production and you know how to resolve a problem. Maybe somebody can have all the resources, all the power and the money to make it faster and bigger. And you need to protect your know-how. So use patent, use, se llama, ¿cómo le diríamos? Modelo de utilidad. Yes, yes, you need, yes, you need to use the patent of something, and you have to protect your own trademark, your mark, because you are trying to raise money and you're gonna need the help of another people, and you have to tell them how you do what you do, but you have to make sure you have the control of your technology, system, or production form. So that will be my advice.
Porque son diferentes.
Entonces la pregunta otra vez es...
un consejo en ramo, ¿no? Para poder tener la empresa o ramo, ¿no? Ya sea la
Ok. Ok. En la parte de los insectos comestibles, indiscutiblemente es la innovación. Es como presentar un producto que sea amigable para el consumo humano y evitar el efecto you, así como que no lo quiero.
All right, so for the insects entrepreneurship, particularly, the most important thing is the innovation, the knowing of how to produce friendly for humans food and not produce the EU effect, like yes, like a not desirable effect. We want to become friendly for consumption.
Esa parte es muy divertida. Definitivamente es divertido el innovar. Hemos hecho barras proteicas de insectos, hemos hecho helados de insectos, pastas de fettuccini con proteína de insectos, e incluso ya estamos innovando en la parte de medicina alternativa con insectos combinada con plantas medicinales.
All right. So this making of the friendly human consumption is very fun. The innovation is a very fun part. We've made proteic bars, like edible bars, ice cream, and pasta from these insects, and we are getting into the alternative medicine field as well.
Por dar un ejemplo, ya tenemos formulaciones para curar el herpes zóster en mes y medio, casos graves. Casos graves ya los hemos curado como medicina alternativa, plantas y potencializado con algunos insectos comestibles. Casos de epilepsia, también tenemos ya formulaciones que ayudan, igual, proteína de insectos, una planta que lo que hace es bajar el nivel de estrés de la persona, que es lo que genera la epilepsia, y otra planta lo que hace es enfocar a la persona para que esté relajada, pero enfocada. Entonces, su estado, incluso para los deportistas, es muy favorable. Estás tranquilo, enfocado, pero con mucha energía por la proteína.
All right. So, for example, if we've got this medicine that is able to cure the herpes zoster in 1 month,
Yes.
we also got the some formulas for epilepsy that can lower the stress levels. And there's this another plant that can get you focused and relaxed at the same time. So this is very, very useful for people that do a lot of sports. And well, yes, the focus and relaxation are the main thing for them.
Básicamente es eso, es innovar. Cuando estás en ese campo es innovar.
So that's basically it. The innovation is key on the entrepreneurship.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Sí, ¿verdad? Bueno, pero principalmente para, o sea, un consejo para emprender, mucho de lo que vimos en estos talleres de Innova, es algo que te apasione o algo que te guste mucho o algo en lo que seas muy bueno para que puedas fluir haciendo este emprendimiento. Obviamente, para que también se estructure como debe de ser esta empresa y no falle, pues debes de seguir un modelo de negocios, de hecho, pues una guía, ¿no? Donde empiezas a trabajar cómo va a funcionar en general todo, porque hay veces que comienzas un emprendimiento sin saber y pues te desesperas o te desmotivas porque pues no te sale. Sin embargo, ya que estás formándote con la incubadora, pues te das cuenta que las cosas pueden ser mejores. Y bueno, es todo un mundo porque es desde el marketing, las finanzas, el plan de negocios. Voy muy rápido. Sorry.
Okay, so one of the most important advices for, in their opinion, to start innovating and start a company, it's first that it's something that you really feel passionate about, that you really like, or that you're very good at it. That would be like a very good advice to begin. Also, it's important to have a structure, because it's easier to start a business if you have a guide or you know what you're going to do or how to do it. This way you can make it work. If you start without knowing, you can lose the patience or lose your main motivation. So have a little guide. In our case, Innova was a very good guide for us to start with a structure, because you have to think about marketing, finance, business plans.
Bueno, y ya como más en el ámbito de nuestra consultora, pues fue hacer, bueno, una de las partes más relevantes fue crear una red de personas profesionales, especialistas pues en el tema, pero de diferentes áreas, ¿no? Para poder así canalizar y atender las situaciones. Fue muy importante porque tenemos ahorita alrededor de unas 30 especialistas que, bueno, manejan un tema diferente cada uno y nos apoyan pues en las capacitaciones, talleres, casos.
Okay, so another important thing is to build a network of professionals in this matter. Okay, right now they have about 30 people 30 experts in different subjects, but related to gender equality. So they can advise in specific areas. Thank you.
Okay, for me, I agree with you with the passion and the structure. I think it's very important to any business, but in our case, we was thinking in a platform very big or complete, and when we started to sell this platform was very difficult because we have a big idea and the client wanted only a little piece of this platform. So for us was very difficult to say, okay, but I have to sell all the platform, but you need only one piece. So for us was very difficult to understand this. We changed all the idea for little models, and we started to and here's the advice. You have to adjust your idea to your client, because maybe your idea is very nice and it's cool, but your client is not able to pay for it. So we have to iterate. I don't know if it's correct. Iterar.
I guess.
Yeah, iterate the idea, and you have to be flexible with the service that you are offering. So flexibility. Yeah, that's all.
Para emprender se necesita paciencia y tolerancia a la frustración. Se necesita tiempo, se necesita no desesperarte.
So in order to start your own business, it's you need patience, time, and the last thing, what was it?
Desesperación. Bueno, no desesperarte. No desesperarte.
You shouldn't give up. So you need, yeah.
Y también saber que las cosas no van a salir como tú quieres de inmediato. ¿Por qué? Porque se trata de esperar.
And you should know that things won't turn out as you are planning to. They come out differently, but it's okay.
Nosotros que aprendimos en el taller de Innova UNAM es como tener un modelo, porque por ejemplo los psicólogos no te enseñan a cómo poner una empresa, no te enseñan que puedes vivir de eso.
So we took part in the Innova UNAM program because in psychology you don't learn how to set up your own business, what you need to do all the steps.
Al no saber cómo hacerle, el taller te ayuda a tener esa idea de cómo ir teniendo ese modelo de negocio, cómo hacer que tu idea sea concreta.
So the program helps you to set up all the steps and to know all things about starting your own business.
Y en el área de la psicología se necesita que empezar a difundir que es normal tomar una terapia. Es normal estar trabajando por tu salud mental y que no sea solamente una urgencia, sino que sea un acompañamiento previo para no llegar a una crisis.
And it should be seen as normal that you go to therapy, that you're working on your mental health. It's necessary for everyone to work on it.
Thank you.
Bueno, yo creo que sería interesante ver si tienen algunas preguntas ellos también, ¿no? Para alguno en específico. Entonces, we're gonna open now the forum for you guys to ask a little bit more like specific questions about their entrepreneurships and things that you have in your mind. Okay, so I don't know if anybody has any questions. Raise your hands, please. Okay. Una, dos.
Right. Thank you, first of all.
Yo las
My,
traduzco.
my question is, how and where did you find the people to help you start your venture,
How,
and where?
okay. ¿Qué tal, qué tal?
Yeah, it was difficult because at the beginning, nobody believes in you because you are you don't know anybody and they don't know you. So the first step to get to help somebody is that this person to you that you want to help believes in what you do. So the first step is to make what can you do for somebody to believe in you? You can show the resume, you can show your backgrounds, or maybe you can give him for free the first service or the first product. Let you try it and let me. In my case, was it's very difficult to explain somebody how this works because have some technology inside, but the client or the people you want to help has a need. If you can resolve that need any way you can, they can take you and reference or refer you with another and another, and that's the way you can go in breaking this first difficult to believe what you do, for example.
It's very interesting now, this idea of satisfying the need in any way you can. No, however you can, but they need to have it, solved. So thank you.
Una de las primeras confrontaciones que tuvimos nosotros fue con la familia, porque nos decían que estábamos locos. Nos decían que nos pusiéramos o que nos metiéramos a trabajar a una empresa.
So the first big fight we had was with our family. They said that we are crazy and that we should get started working at a company instead.
Y es difícil esto a nivel emocional y psicológico, porque los primeros apoyos se supone que deben venir dentro de la familia o tus más cercanos. Que los primeros apoyos se supone que deben venir de tu familia o de los más cercanos. Es difícil.
Yeah. So it usually should be the other way around. So family should support you first in your steps and to help you get started, get emotional support.
Entonces, lo primero que yo diría es tienes que romper con creencias familiares, al menos en México y Latinoamérica lo hemos visto así, y tener como la creencia, la idea de que tus ideas, aquí nosotros siempre utilizamos una filosofía de Walt Disney, que decía que el universo conspira siempre a favor de los soñadores. En todo el camino de emprendimiento y conociendo otros emprendedores, nos hemos dado cuenta que parten de ideas a lo mejor irracionales o locas, pero al final siempre son cosas que tienen posibilidad y viabilidad de llevarlas a cabo. Sorry.
I think you have to repeat the last part. I wasn't quick enough, but yeah. The first thing you need to do is to break with the beliefs of your family, especially in Latin America. This is something that occurs quite a lot, and that you should follow your ideas. And then I got lost at Walt Disney. Sorry. I don't know if someone else.
And he did quote Walt Disney saying that the universe is like conspires with conspira a favor de la in favor of the people who dream, of dreamers. So I think that's one of the things that you said, no, that was important, and just to and I lost thread now. Yeah.
Well, they said that following your ideas, even if they seem irrational or crazy, you should move on with ideas if you believe they are good ones.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. So in the process of founding your businesses, how much has your original idea changed? Like in the process we've been through so far, we've learned that it's very common for founders and entrepreneurs to change their ideas quite often because it's a trial and error. So
Yes.
if you were to compare your original idea and then experience, and now the idea you have in this moment, are they the same or are they completely different? Sí. Si fueran a comparar su idea original con el negocio que ya tienen establecido ahorita, ¿qué tanto ha cambiado esa idea original que tuvieron en un inicio a la idea que tienen en este momento y el negocio establecido que tienen? Entonces, en nuestro proceso en el que nosotros hemos estado haciendo como estudiantes, hemos aprendido que eso es parte natural de establecer un negocio. Y ustedes que ya tienen un negocio exitoso, nos podrían contar un poco más de qué tantos cambios ha habido desde la idea original, inicial que tuvieron, y la idea actual, y si sigue siendo la misma, si es completamente diferente o ha cambiado mucho, por favor.
Yes.
Gracias.
¿Quieren?
I love because it's the for me applies a lot because we started with this platform and again the client wants something different, totally different to the first idea, and in the middle of the way we have that client. I don't know if maybe you don't know, but we have a Liverpool as a client. So this client wanted a platform for totally different in the credit industry. So because we did it, we make it, no, we develop we develop these services because we thought that this client was too big and was a big opportunity for us. So we developed this platform, but finally we don't can close the deal. So all the time, all the service, all the testing, the time for the testing was a waste of time. So was too frustrated for us, and for my coworkers was a break. I don't know how can I say it.
Punto de quiebre.
Yeah.
A breaking point.
A breaking point. And one of them say, I can do this more, and he left for the company. So I understand the question because you have to be resilient and with this kind of changes. So yeah, that's my experience.
Maybe you don't know, Liverpool is a big departmental store that sells everything, like Sears or something like this, in which you can find absolutely Harrods or something huge, no? And so they wanted to sell big time, but that was not their objective, and they couldn't close the deal. Y no sé, creo que sería interesante, porque hablas de la cuestión crediticia, a lo mejor que nos dijeras brevemente cómo funciona la plataforma, ¿no? Y cómo incluye, porque a lo mejor todavía no queda muy claro cómo funciona tu plataforma financiera y crediticia.
I have to switch in Spanish because I think it's fluent. in Spanish.
A ver,
So,
déjame decirles en inglés.
okay.
Les pregunté, I asked her how her platform works, because maybe you need to understand a little bit more about it. You know, how does it include people and how does it work in terms of credit and so on. So we could understand more how she developed the idea and so on. And she's going to say it in Spanish. And do you want to work on that or I help her? Okay, Mauricio will help.
Te voy a dar tiempo de escribir. Ok, la plataforma tiene ciertos módulos. Cuando tú tienes o pides un crédito, hay diferentes etapas.
So the platform has different modules. We're going to talk about for example, when you want to get a loan. There's several phases or steps that you need to follow.
Okay, the first one, la primera, tú preguntas por un crédito, por un monto de crédito y la microfinanciera te evalúa el histórico que tienes, tu historial crediticio. Entonces, con base en eso, este módulo se llama originación. Entonces, básicamente es la microfinanciera, busca tu historial crediticio y te dice si te aprueba o no te aprueba el crédito.
All right. So the first step is, of course, asking for a loan. This step is called origination or something like that, a genesis. Let's call it like it. So the micro finance company searches for your credit history to evaluate your records.
Ok, este es el primer filtro. Si te lo aprueban, entonces ya pasas al segundo módulo y te dicen cuánto, ¿no? O sea, cuánto está permitido con base en tu historial crediticio.
So this is the first filter. If you got approved to get the loan, the second step, the second phase, is tell you how much you will get according to your financial history.
Internamente, la microfinanciera hace un montón de modelos para evaluar este tipo de score, ¿no? Entonces, es como un módulo en paralelo a este paso.
So internally, this microfinancing company makes a
modelo crediticio.
Oh yes, they build a credit model to evaluate and determine how much you'll get. So this is parallel to the first phase of the loan. You're loaning.
Ya. Y a grandes rasgos, ¿no? Y ya casi la última parte de este proceso es la cobranza, ¿no? O sea, una vez que ya tienes el crédito, ya te dijeron, no, pues te vamos a aprobar 100 pesos, ¿no? ¿Cada cuánto me lo vas a dar? ¿En cuántos pagos? Etcétera, ¿no? Entonces, toda esta parte es la cobranza, es el módulo de cobranza.
So
¿Ya ven por qué lo dije en español?
Well, let's call it getting the loan, the collection.
Of the money.
Yeah.
So this is when you are actually getting the money, getting the loan, and they tell you how much will you be paying monthly, or all the specifics of how you are going to get the money and how you will be paying back this money.
Entonces, la plataforma incluye todos estos módulos, pero las microfinancieras quizá nada más tienen su cuello de botella en la originación o en la cobranza, ¿no? Entonces, lo que los clientes querían era, pues nada más véndeme esta parte, porque en todo lo demás soy bueno, haciendo modelos, cobrando, originando, ¿no? Entonces, así fue como dijimos, no, pues hay que reducir la plataforma a solamente que ocupen ciertas partecitas de la plataforma.
Okay.
Puede, o sea,
que sea.
diferente, o sea, puede ya haber diferentes microfinancieras que su cuello de botella es la originación, o puede haber otra que sea la cobranza, ¿no? Y ahí es donde nosotros automatizamos los procesos.
All right, so these microfinance companies may get some kind of bottleneck in any of these phases, particularly the first one, the origination phase. So the platform gets in charge of how do you say, enabling this kind of the phases, of any of the phases, the platform is able to help these companies to get through all of the phases and well, give more services than they could potentially give.
And making automatization processes for that bottleneck problem they have, so they can choose a part of it of the process. That's very interesting. Okay, see, yes.
So I'm trying to recover your question. So it's going to change. Anything you make get to the market is going to change, because the world is how it's built. Maybe for technology or companies in technology, you know, I'm going to recommend you the Lean Startup from Eric Rice, because you as an entrepreneur or a small unit of production, you're going to start with prototypes, because you have very little money, but you have knowledge and you have an idea and a philosophy. So the important thing here is to put something quickly in the market and taste, make it the client taste it, and the client tells you, if this works for me as a client, I can buy it. So you can start the evolution from your prototype to a final product. MVP, they call the MVP is minimal viable product. So if you get a MVP, a minimal viable product, so you can start to dream about this line of business. So you have to expect the change in every way, every time, because it's better for us as entrepreneurs that the world's making change, because this innovation or this drive to the evolution of the products led us to get in the market, because you are faster to produce something than a big company, because you can touch the client, you can get to the client to understand it, to make a product or a solution. So yes, as you can see, everyone here may be working in our companies, but the products are changing every time, and depending on the client, you have to make quick changes and adaptations to get this product in the market. Yeah.
You can... creo que también los cambios siempre son parte de todo emprendimiento.
Yeah.
Algo que nos pasó a nosotros y a muchos emprendedores en la pandemia, tuvimos o teníamos una idea original. Nosotros empezamos a trabajar con empresas y en la pandemia las empresas se fueron para abajo. Y nosotros también.
So changes are part of the journey of all entrepreneurs. One big example is the pandemic. We had another idea, we were working on it and wanted to sell it to the companies, but all the companies went down, and so did we.
Y esto nos llevó a cambiar, dentro de lo que ya hacíamos, el modelo de negocio. Aquí era muy importante ver las necesidades, pero algo importante dentro de todos los cambios es, creo yo, para nosotros fue, nunca perdimos nuestra esencia. La esencia, pensándola como algo que va a ser el esqueleto, la columna vertebral de tu proyecto, tu idea de negocio, y esa tendrías que ver cómo la vas a llevar en otras áreas, en otras dimensiones para poderla desarrollar.
What is most important during this part or during this trajectory is that you never lose your spirit or your essence of being. So that you have this skeleton, which is forms the idea or helps you to be upright, and then it carries you throughout the journey and keeps you going, even though you might not be in the best mood.
Yo quiero complementar. Nosotros cambiamos 4 veces de nombre de la marca. Llevamos 10 años y llevamos 4 cambios de nombre de la marca. Creo que un error que tenemos todos es que quieres abarcar mucho. Entonces, quiero hacer todo o sé que mi producto va a ser para todos. Entonces, aprendimos que no. Aprendimos que solamente necesitamos un segmento para que te fueras dirigido a esas personas. La idea cambia, pero sí se tiene como esa base, justo como lo decía Alberto, es una esencia.
So we are already 10 years on the market, and we already have had 4 changes of our name. So this is only one small example that shows that it's changing a lot. Also, what happens quite a lot is that you want to address everyone with your idea, you want to help everyone with your idea, and you lose the idea, or you forget that it's not for everyone. You should find your special group that is the most important group, and go back to them and help this precise group.
Y algo importante en esos 10 años que comentaba ahorita Eli, que nos tardó muchos cambios. El año pasado generamos otro emprendimiento con otra idea de negocio, que ahora son de viajes, que nos gusta viajar. Lo hicimos con todo el conocimiento que teníamos y lo hicimos cerca de 3 meses. Y en 3 meses, cuando nosotros la lanzamos al mercado, ¡pum!, despegó. Porque teníamos el conocimiento de 10 años de errores, de cambios, de experiencias, de filosofía startup, ¿no? Falla rápido, falla barato. Entonces, un poco comparto esto con la intención de ver que todo el aprendizaje que tú adquieres en un primer emprendimiento, cuando tú generas un segundo, un tercero, un cuarto, es mucho más fácil por el conocimiento que tienes.
Also, he wants to circle back to the another entrepreneur or other startup that they were creating last year. It's about traveling because they love to travel, and they were working on it for 3 months, and then they put it onto the market and it blew up. So it was really great success, and he wants to highlight that with the experience of 10 years of entrepreneurs, they already knew what was going on and how it works. And this helps you also later on the journey. If you want to start 1 or 2 or 3 other projects, you already have a bigger knowledge and also a network you can work with.
Thank you.
Is there another question from you guys? Okay. Viviana, and then you.
Hola, buenas tardes. Primero, muchas gracias por estar aquí, por compartirnos su conocimiento y también muchas felicidades por sus emprendimientos. Son muy buenas ideas y creo que también cubren las necesidades que tenemos, sobre todo aquí en México. Mi pregunta sería, ¿cómo o cuándo decidieron convertirse en emprendedores de tiempo completo? So the question is, when did you or how did you decide to be a full-time entrepreneur?
The short question, when you have the money. When you have the money to pay all your gastos?
Your expense.
Yeah, your expenses. So for us was that.
Bueno, en nuestro caso, yo, por ejemplo, tuve un empleo profesional que sí tenía que ver con mi carrera durante 4 años, que era de manufactura de diseño industrial. Y después ese trabajo dejó de funcionar y fue cuando decidí independizarme empecé a probar con mis conocimientos y anteriormente les decía que hubo algunos sucesos en pandemia que me llevó a juntarme con otros expertos a crear otro proyecto que era de responsabilidad social. Entonces fue una cadenita, pero algo muy importante que yo vi en la empresa en la que estuve era formalidad, capacitación constante, las utilidades, claro, esos márgenes de los costos de las ventas, eso fue muy importante. Pues para tú poder tener una visión de que quieres una empresa igual de grande, ¿no? O igual de impactante, igual de responsable también. Entonces fue ahí donde decidimos emprender.
So for her, as she had like a formal job related to her degree. She's an industrial designer. She worked there for 4 years, but then for some situations that work stopped. It wasn't working anymore. So that's when she decided to become independent. And again, she partnered with other experts and started with all of these ideas of social awareness. And as she said before, there were some things that happened during the pandemic that made her take this decision or take this road. And for her, one of the important things to decide when to become a full-time entrepreneur is when the company is formal, when you have utilities, of course, when you're training constantly your staff, and when you are sure that you want to see your company grow and become big.
En mi caso, yo era coordinador fiscalista en sector financiero aquí en México. Sí, sí. Yo manejaba lo que era bancos, casas de bolsa, afores y afores, facturaje financiero, todo lo que es sector financiero. La parte fiscal yo la manejaba. Éramos pocos los fiscalistas a nivel nacional tan especializados en este ramo, ¿no?
All right, so I was a fiscal coordinator. I managed the things like afores is a very
Yes.
like, it's a very specific word. But he was a specialist in the financial sector, and well, they were very few of these specialists here in Mexico.
Pero había una parte de mí que le interesaba emprender. Entonces la pregunta era, ¿qué te gusta hacer? No puede ser, no cola de león y cabeza de ratón. Creo que estaba un poco más en medio, ¿no? No era tan cola.
Eso va a estar difícil.
Mi puesto en la empresa era de buen nivel, muy buen nivel, pero aún así no tenía yo la satisfacción personal que deseaba.
All right, so I was very interested in entrepreneurship independently of my actual job. Well, I had a very good job, but I didn't have the personal satisfaction of that I was seeking.
Ok. Entonces esa decisión fue importante para mí porque fue quemar lo que en algunos ejemplos es quemar tus barcos o para algunos es quemar tus puentes y llegar a un punto de no retorno. O sea, tú ponerte en un punto de no retorno.
All right, so this decision was made, like someone says, by burning bridges and get you into a no return point. Like that was the time when I decided to go an entrepreneur in myself.
Obviamente muchos se sorprenden porque cuando eres bueno en algo, dices, ¿por qué no te quedas en eso, no? Pero no es necesariamente que seas bueno significa que seas feliz, con plenitud. O sea, no estaba mal, pero no era mi plenitud lo que tenía ahí.
So I was very good at what I was doing, but being good doesn't mean being happy or getting the satisfaction you want. So well, yes, that's it.
Si te vas a arriesgar, tienes que tener muy claro cuál es el valor que está atrás de la meta. Ojo, no estoy diciendo la meta, estoy diciendo cuál es el valor atrás de la meta.
So you have to ask yourself what's the value you're gaining that is behind the goal, not in the goal, but behind the goal.
Me refiero específicamente a tus deseos. Puedes decir, quiero dinero. Ok, pero ¿para qué quieres el dinero? Ah, que tener una casa. Con el dinero. ¿Para qué quieres una casa? Es que sabes que deseo tener un hogar y que mis hijos tengan un lugar en el que puedan crecer. Ah, ese es el valor atrás de la meta, no el dinero, no la casa, sino el valor emocional, sentimental, de valores como ser humano, lo que te motiva a arriesgarte a decir, va. Además, te pones un plazo también de éxito, ¿no? De lograr tus metas y corregir el rumbo cuantas veces sea necesario para alcanzar tus metas.
All right. So what I mean with this, what I was saying is the focus is on your wishes. Like, for example, if you want money, why do you want money? Well, to buy a house. Why do you want a house? Well, for my family or for my kids. Well, that's actually the value that is behind the goal. So in taking into consideration values is your motivation, what guides you towards your goal and why you want to be successful.
Y también una parte difícil es conocer tus habilidades y tus carencias y ser proactivo con ese conocimiento. Pero sí es muy importante conocerte a ti mismo para enfrentarte a las escaseces, dificultades, señalamientos, porque te va a tirar de loco. Cuando una idea es muy innovadora y todo el mundo te dice, es que nadie lo ha hecho antes, y dices, pues por eso.
All right. So the hard part here is to know your skills and your weaknesses. This is, of course, to face your hardships because many people will say that you're crazy. That has never been done before, but that's why you're doing it because it has never been done before.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ok, yo pensé en dos cosas. Fue una gran pregunta y me detonó la cabeza. La primera, data una historia. Nosotros empezamos a trabajar, tenemos ya nuestro consultorio pequeñito y al mismo tiempo trabajábamos en una clínica de terapia en satélite, ¿no? Es una zona bastante bien. Por poner comparaciones, ellos por terapia, nosotros en ese entonces cobrábamos como 150 pesos por terapia y ellos en nuestro consultorio y ellos en la clínica cobraban 700, 800 en ese entonces.
There are two things which I want to bring up. The first one is a small story, and it's about when we were still having a very small consultancy firm, and we were earning 150 pesos for each therapy session, and we were working at the same time at a clinic in a very well situated zone here in Mexico, and there they were earning 700 pesos per session.
Entonces, ellos nos pagaban 100 pesos por terapia que hacíamos. Hubo un día en que llegaron unos empresarios, los directores me dijeron que les diera una consultoría, porque yo me estaba especializando en coaching y otras cosas. Sin problema, a mí me apasionaba eso, di la consultoría. Ellos cobraron como 1,500, 2,000 pesos por esa sesión y a mí me siguieron pagando 100 pesos. Ahí yo me di cuenta que... Sí, perdón.
So from the 700 pesos that I was earning in the clinic, I only got 100 pesos. And one day, other entrepreneurs approached me with a clinic and wanted some consultancy, some coaching, because we were specialized in this. And they were paying 1,500 pesos to the clinic, but still I only earned 100 pesos from the session.
Y eso me impactó mucho, porque el conocimiento lo tenía. Y entonces fue cuando dije, de aquí no soy. Pero teníamos frente a nosotros un gran reto.
Yeah, this really hit hard, and because I had the knowledge, and I knew how to do it, but still it was a big challenge that was ahead of us.
Porque la zona donde estábamos nosotros trabajando en nuestro consultorio pues, era una zona popular. Eso fue un gran detonante. Y el segundo fue cuando les dijimos que queríamos hacerlo del temazcal, que les comentamos, nos dijeron que eso no era terapia.
Yeah, so we were working with our small consultancy agency, and this event that happened with a coaching was the first big bomb that hit us. And then we offered the clinic that we want to work with temazcal, what we were explaining before. And they said, no, this is not therapy.
Entonces, ese fue el punto de partida para decir, aquí no me hallo y de aquí no soy. Tengo que buscar un espacio que ya lo teníamos, pero buscar la forma de llevarlo a desarrollar, donde podamos hacer lo que nosotros queremos hacer, cobrando eso que ya cobraban ellos, pero para nosotros, y en el asunto de emprendimiento, generar empleos, que ahorita ya los generamos, tenemos psicólogos que están trabajando con nosotros, donde el pago sea justo, porque era muy injusto.
So this was our starting point, where we decided that we need to take action and find our own way, and we need to develop what we are aiming at. And it was for us, it was very important that we also earn good, and that we earn the money that the clinic is giving, and also that we are generating employment so that we can employ other people. This is what they are already doing right now. And that these employees also earn good.
Okay, trying to recover your question is when you know if you want to be an entrepreneur, right? When you decided, okay, maybe it's because you are trying to see how do you feel with this idea. I don't know, but I know that I was an entrepreneur when I see something that I want to change in my life or in the problems in my family or in my country. And for you, trying to make this question a little more wide is you have to feel in your heart if you want to change something, so you can have the brave or the guts to get through the path to the entrepreneur, because it's a difficult path, as you can see. There is a lot of questions in the way, in the path, and you have to go in to answer it and get over the problems and every little step you have to take to get to the business model or to the product in the market, or when you have to deal with somebody that wants to get advantage of you. There are many things like that. But it's very important, I think, that everyone here is trying to know about the entrepreneur because the world is changing, and the professions and the jobs out there are not the same when you are here right now, and when you get a professional degree, it's going to change again, and you have to adapt to this. So maybe you will need to be entrepreneur enter your company or outside. So it's a good question for you, for yourself too, because you have to know what can pull you out of your way and make a new company of your own. So you have to be in touch with this and take it from us. You have to be very resilient and be open. I'm sorry, very open to to the change of the world. So that's it.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, so I'm very sorry, but we are running out of time, and they also have possibly other appointments as well. It's already almost 12:20, and we started more or less 20 minutes late. But I want to thank all of you for being here and asking questions, and I want to also thank you for being here. Les quiero agradecer por estar aquí. Ya estamos corriendo, nos está acabando un poco el tiempo. Empezamos un poco más tarde, pero ya compensamos los 20 minutos más o menos. Pero bueno, si tienen preguntas, a lo mejor se quieren acercar un ratito con ellos en corto, a lo mejor y puede ser bueno. Y pues muchas gracias, súper interesante. He tenido la oportunidad de 2 veces estar aquí y cada vez aprendo más de todo esto y es increíble todo lo que han hecho y también admirable el soportar y pasar por todo lo que han pasado para lograr lo que han logrado. Entonces, muchas felicidades también. Okay. So I was telling them that you can approach them maybe if you have specific questions and so on at the end. And I also thank them for being here. And thank you very, very much for being here.
I'm going to tell it to say it in English. I am asking the entrepreneurs if they could stay a little bit longer outside with a coffee or tea or something here in order to have the possibility to speak with you. Maybe you have interest in I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And you know already Jessica. Jessica is here, and Jessica is in charge of this program that was mentioned in the round in Innova UNAM. And I think every of our entrepreneurs was or is, I don't know, in this program. And it's very, very interesting to see that the production or the service or that was incubated in this program of the university. So maybe you have questions or comments or something to say. And I think it's a great opportunity to talk with real I don't mean that you are not real, but real entrepreneurs that are making this dream a reality. And maybe you are going to be in the future a real entrepreneur. And I hope that this talk gave you some kind of motivation or inspiration to pursue your dream or your idea. And please don't leave, because Diana bought something to eat for you, so you don't go